In the icy wilderness, a man risked his life to save a stranded bear clinging to the edge of a cliff. The daring rescue was heart-pounding, but what happened next left everyone speechless. The bear's unexpected response turned a simple act of kindness into an unforgettable moment. That summer, the clear blue sky spanned the majestic Colorado mountains in the United States. A man named Terry set out to spend his vacation exploring the rugged mountain trails. He packed tents, food, and survival gear, ready for a week-long adventure in the wild. On the morning of his second day, Terry trekked through the fiery red rocks, making his way toward a deep canyon. As he neared the edge of a steep cliff, a faint growl echoed from below, catching his attention. Peering down, he spotted a brown bear clinging desperately to the cliff's edge, dangerously close to plunging into the rushing stream beneath. The bear was visibly exhausted, its hind legs shaking as it struggled to hold on. Without a moment's hesitation, Terry grabbed a rope from his backpack and secured it tightly to a sturdy tree nearby. Carefully, he made his way to the cliff's edge, clutching a small branch for balance. The bear gazed up at him with eyes filled with both panic and fragile hope. Though gripped by his own fear of heights, Terry spoke softly, trying to soothe the frightened animal. Terry tied one end of the rope around his waist and tossed the other end toward the bear. Miraculously, the bear seemed to understand and grasped the rope with its claws. Using every ounce of strength, Terry began pulling the bear up, inch by inch. The weight pressed heavily against him, the rope digging into his waist with painful force. Still, he gritted his teeth and kept going, refusing to give up, until the bear was halfway up the cliff. Seeing that the bear was about to climb up, Terry reached out and grabbed its front leg, giving it more support. After a while, the bear finally climbed up safely, its mouth open and gasping for breath. Terry was exhausted and sat down on the ground, his heart pounding with a mixture of anxiety and relief. The bear turned its head to look at Terry, showing no signs of attack or aggression. It growled softly, seemingly expressing its gratitude to the man who had just saved it. Terry slowly backed away, giving the bear space to calm down and realize that he was not being threatened. A magical moment occurred when the bear approached, gently touching Terry's hand with its nose as a thank you. He never thought he would touch a wild bear in such a friendly way. He felt the thick, frayed, gray-brown fur on its body. The bear looked like it had been through a lot in the harsh, rocky environment. After a few minutes, the bear walked slowly, turned its head to look at Terry once more, and disappeared behind the trees. Terry smiled softly, silently hoping that the animal would continue to live well in the wild. 3 days later, Terry continued his journey, passing through many dense forests and winding streams. Night fell. He pitched his tent by the bank of a gentle stream, enjoying a simple dinner of canned meat and bread. In the middle of the night, the howling of the wolves echoed throughout the mountains and forests, waking Terry up. He felt uneasy and hurried outside to light a fire to scare away the wild animals. The fire flickered weakly in the wind, not strong enough to make the wolves retreat. The sound of branches breaking signaled that the wolves were very close. Terry looked around, only seeing the silhouettes of green eyes hidden behind the bushes. He grabbed the long stick beside him, trying to calm down despite his pounding heart. The wolves slowly moved closer, their fangs bared in the moonlight. Terry knew he was in a dangerous situation with nowhere to run. He walked backward, hoping to lean against the large rock to avoid being attacked from behind. 7 wolves, skinny but fierce, advanced at the same time, surrounding him. Their eyes were hungry, ready to pounce on their prey. At that moment, a loud roar rang out, causing the pack of wolves to stumble. From behind the bushes, the brown-furred bear from that day appeared, standing still like a guardian angel. It roared, clearly showing its intention to protect Terry, making the pack of wolves wary. The wolves began to bare their fangs and growl in response, not wanting to give up their territory. The bear did not retreat, raising its large body and slamming its 2 front paws into the ground. The ground shook slightly. The pack of wolves fearfully took a few steps back. Terry could hardly believe his eyes, remembering the time he saved the bear. It seemed like the bear was returning the favor, determined to protect him at all costs. The pack of wolves still refused to give up. One of them recklessly rushed forward to test its strength. The bear immediately swung its claws, knocking the wolf. A miserable groan rang out. Seeing its fellow wolf being attacked, the pack of wolves faltered and began to disperse. The fire from Terry's bonfire also flared up, causing the pack of wolves to panic even more. Finally, the pack of wolves decided to leave, leaving the silent night mist in Terry's pounding heart. The bear stood there, its calm eyes watching the pack of wolves until they disappeared. Terry slowly approached the bear, half wanting to thank it, half still wary of its terrible strength. The bear raised its head, no longer ferocious, growling softly as if to reassure him. Terry knelt down, gently placed his hand on the bear's head, and silently offered words of gratitude from the depths of his heart. In that moment, he understood that a magical bond still existed between humans and nature. The bear turned and walked slowly toward the woods, its figure fading like a shadow into the quiet of the night. A shiver ran through Terry as he replayed the life-threatening moment in his mind, knowing that if it hadn't been for the bear, he might not have survived. The next morning, he packed up his things and decided to leave the woods earlier than planned. As he made his way back to town, the weight of the bear's incredible act stayed with him. He stopped at a roadside cafe where he shared his harrowing tale with a few intrigued locals. They were amazed. After all, not everyone could say they'd been rescued by a bear. An old man, who had lived in the area for decades, leaned in and whispered, "That was a rare blessing from nature." Terry smiled quietly, knowing in his heart that through faith and courage, he had formed a true connection with a wild soul. Each time he gazed up at the Colorado mountains, he remembered the warm brown eyes of the bear clinging to the cliff. He made a quiet vow to live in harmony with nature, honoring every creature that called the vast American wilderness home. Deep in his heart, he believed the bear still roamed free across the hillsides, watchful, protective, and ready to defend the good, just as it had once done for him. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comments section. I hope you like this story. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Also, subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss updates from our channel. Thank you.